Before going into the review, I would like to thank Audio Geek Tour Group, especially Mr. Sandeep, Mr. Harmoko, and Mr. Novan for arranging the tour unit. I would also like to thank Mr. Kenneth and DITA for the opportunity for a review unit. However, they do not have any input on my review of the DITA Project M. This review is completely my own opinion of the DITA Project M. Not even out of the box yet, I'm quite impressed with the box design of the Project M. The attention to detail and the design left me with awe. Perhaps I'm oversimplifying this, but the box design is quite interesting, showing frequency response graphs of the Project M. And the folds of the included pamphlet are meticulously folded to the corresponding pages. Inside, they include a case which was made by Thanos in Germany. I am really impressed with the design and cohesiveness of the overall product. The carrying case and the ear tips case looks like flight cases for musical instruments. The design is modern utilitarian, maybe, as I find the design of things included serves a purpose. The pamphlet can be used as a photo background, or at least I use it that way. The case seems to be stackable, and there are tiny handles on the Thanos case. The case really caught my eyes, as the handle they have are quite amusing. But I digress. Enough about the other things in the box. Let's talk about the IM's design themselves. Perhaps it is one of the clearest IM I've tried so far, as you can clearly see the inside. They put thoughts on this as the drivers are packed inside a metallic compartment, making the visuals clean and sophisticated. The overall shape they are going for is a semi-custom ergonomics, like a lot of IEMs I have been trying these last few weeks. They have a rather deep insertion, so long nozzle ear tips might not be a great combination for them. The EPZ M100 looks stunning with the Project M. I think we will probably need a smaller size for the Project M. Going with the included ear tips for me is the best choice, as they are final ear tips. Not sure which one, but they are also glow in the dark. I almost forgot. The cable that comes with the Project M is a modular cable by Cardas. I almost forgot this, as it seems like it is not a modular cable, unless you tried to twist them, or you noticed that they included a 3.5mm modular plug in the box. Speaking about the cable, I quite like the cable on the Project M. However, I do have a slight concern, as the cable itself is white, and it seems to have a slight matte finish to them. My concern is whether or not the oxidation will come through over time. The design, the fitment, and the looks really caught me. I really like the attention to detail. The Project M name inside the shell, the glow-in-the-dark ear tips, and the carefully folded pamphlet caught my eyes. Overall, a really nice IM in terms of design, packaging, and accessories. Perhaps the sound is what matters the most. It is easy to get lost when reviewing beautiful products. The Project M sounds uniquely impressive. Let's talk about it. Perhaps rather unusual to start with the mid-range performance, but it is what stands out to me the most, as the vocals are slightly intimate compared to the Hebe Project Ace. But do take this with a grain of salt, as this is only based on memory. The vocal and the upper mid-range performance of the Project M is rather smooth with some sparkle on female vocals. Thinking about it more and more, this might have an overall similar tuning to the Project Ace. Funny that they both have a project on their names, and they are both kinda similar. But I digress. The mids and the upper mids presentation of the Project M is rather natural with a slight tinge of brightness to them. Perhaps if you are really sensitive to balanced armature timbre, this might show up, but for me, it does not really show. Speaking of which, assuming that the Project M is a hybrid, Perhaps the balanced armature pulled a double duty for reproducing the mids and the treble frequencies. The treble performance of the Project M is surprisingly bright, but not as bright as you might think. The control and feel are really good, as they are just bright enough to give that sparkle and energy to songs, but not enough to sound irritating. Perhaps the treble performance reminds me a bit of the Tansho Mirai X I tried a while back, and maybe could also be a little close to the Da Vinci, but the Da Vinci sounds warmer. Maybe? I digress. The Project M treble performance also plays the part in giving that sense of clarity as the details on recording came through. Moving on, this is actually not my first time trying the Project M, as I did try them and compared them to the Tansho Mirai X. The Tansho Mirai X is a rather bassy V-tune IEM, so comparing the two does not really make sense. The bass performance of the Project M is nice and tight, as it has ample mid-bass to be fun and good sub-bass to be punchy. I think if you like clean and teeny tiny bass boost, the DITA Project M might satisfy you. But if you like bassy IEM, the Project M might not be for you. The sound staging is pretty wide, perhaps almost lifelike, if that's even possible. But do take this with a grain of salt. The vocalists are placed in the middle with the instruments around the stage. It also appears that the distance between vocalists and instruments are quite far apart, giving a sense of wide sound staging and a pretty good imaging. Perhaps the verticality of this set is also pretty good, as the stage feels slightly higher than you are. Perhaps I put in a pop song here, as I do find quite an interesting experience when listening to this song. The acoustic guitar strumming on the left side is quite distinct in this song. The positioning and the distance from the other instruments and vocal can be quite noticeable. Not to mention the layering of bass guitar and Dua Lipa's vocals are also quite nice. The DITA Project M is the first IEM I reviewed from the brand DITA, and the first IEM I reviewed from a Singaporean boutique brand. It is quite interesting that I have made it this far. I will of course thank everyone for their continued support, but I digress yet again. The DITA Project M is a hybrid IEM with one dynamic driver and one balanced armature driver. The DITA Project M cost around $325 and came with a quite nice packaging, which includes a carrying case, modular jacks, a bunch of final ear tips with case, and a pretty nice cable by Cardas. The Project M has an intimate, warm vocal with clear treble and deep bass, offering an overall natural balance tuning. I think the Project M is suited for a wide range of genres and can be a great set to listen to. If you are looking for a flexible set that isn't too bassy, this might be a great candidate. It is also worth noting that I shared this experience with my friend that has more experience with sound in general, and he said that the tuning is rather unique. As for the ratings, I give the Project M an A- for tonality and an A- for technicalities. Perhaps it is not the most technical set I have tried in this price range. Perhaps that title is still being held by the Moondrop Blessing Tree. Well, that is it. That is my experience with the DITA Project M. Have you tried the DITA Project M? Or do you own a DITA IEM? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you, Audio Geek Tour Group, for supporting me. And thank you all for watching and supporting me to this point. Have a nice day.